So, such a incredible mole, a beautiful mole. And I'll just share a few thoughts about what I heard, what my experience is. And then if there is some time for questions, and maybe I should ask our tech people. It's always lovely to have a little bit of interaction, so it's not just all one-way talk and you just listen. Because today I was hearing, Baba wants us to become equal to him. We want to become equal to him. The method is really to become merciful. And to become like the Father. What was Baba really saying? He was saying that let congratulations emerge, let congratulations of happiness and greetings, emerge from your hearts for every soul at every moment. You think about that. Baba's saying to have this happiness, this goodwill for every soul at every moment, whether they are Brahmins, whether they are Lokik people, whether they don't have any knowledge, whether you've never met them before, basically whoever you meet. What was Baba's method? He said, children, be happy and spread happiness. And this is really, when I was reading this, I feel Baba's outlining the method for us to really take a high jump. And I feel so much of it is built around my relationships with others. What holds me back in this Brahman journey? All of us. There's over 800 of us on this muli at the moment. We're all here. We have deep love and deep faith in Baba. But sometimes I think many of us feel I'm not really progressing, or I feel a bit ordinary. And often I think it's because of this account, this mental account, or this account with other souls. Sometimes Brahmins and sometimes even others. And Baba was saying, really, it does not matter what type of interaction the other has with you. So Baba was saying, it doesn't really matter how they treat you. And what did he say? If they give you thorns, if they give me thorns, what should I give them? Roses. If they give me sorrow, what should I give them? Happiness. And what did Baba say? If don't treat them in the same way that they treat you. Isn't this so much a part of our world now? You've been rude to me, I'll be rude to you. You're bad to me, I'm going to treat you the same way. We have had this sanskara, I would say, for half the cycle of being stuck in limited thinking about others. And Baba was saying that don't you become ignorant like them, because they don't have knowledge. And so if I react to them because they're not, even as if it's another Brahmin who is not knowledgeful at that moment, and I'm reacting them, it's like I become ignorant too. I step back into ignorance and I allow these feelings to take me over as well. And Baba was saying, we should not be influenced by those who are under the influence of their nature and their sanskaras. And Baba was really saying that this is the time, if we want to go back with the Father, become equal. And becoming equal is to become the bestower. And what does the bestower do? The bestower gives. What is the sanskara of the deity? The deity is the giver. And I think this is really, I feel, the method to free myself and fly, be in the flying stage. You know, I've often had the experience that when I see bad behavior and, or, you know, weakness in another soul, and I generate thoughts and feelings, negative feelings, critical feelings, bad feelings, what happens to my stage? I go down and I sustain my impurity. I reconnect to my old story, my body conscious self. When someone behaves badly, someone is rude or difficult, and I have good wishes and pure feelings, it's like I have to go to a part of my sanskaras that are pure, a part of my sanskaras that are clean. I reinforce my purity and I free myself from this habit of being stuck. When someone behaves badly, I get stuck in my old story and I give life back to my impurity. And how was the analogy that Baba gave us? I think we should all hold this in our mind, right? That when I get a little bit frustrated, a little bit angry, a little bit jealous, what's it like? You know, smoke. Just hold the image in your mind of what that's like. And Baba was talking about the smoky stage, really. The smoky stage is the stage of jealousy, the stage of anger, the stage of dislike. Do I still have the habit to dislike? Because that habit can keep me so stuck. I can't move forward. Baba said he wants us to become an angel of blessings. But if I keep having, you know, creating the thoughts, the smoky thoughts and the smoky feelings in my mind of disliking you, I don't like the way you do it, what happens to me? And, you know, I think even as Brahmins, long-term Brahmins, we are, many of us, been with Baba for such a long time. When I see bad behavior, when I even see behavior against Srimat, and I have the smoky stage, I have a little bit of anger, a little bit of dislike, a little bit of jealousy, and I really still think it's them. It's them. But actually, it's not them. It's my reaction to them. And I think if I deeply understand that these feelings are my feelings, when I own them, I can begin to become detached and fly. But otherwise, you know, we can't have this stage of being an angel, because Baba said the way to deal with the fire of vices, which creates a lot of smoke, or the fire of, or the waste, which just a little bit of smoke, is good wishes and pure feelings. And really, I think that the more I begin to realize this and understand the power of good wishes and pure feelings is the power to really free me. And this is what I feel is the stage at this time that's going to really make me take a high jump. Baba was saying to become master merciful or master compassionate. And what does it mean? What did Baba say? What is the meaning of being a master merciful soul? What did he say? Whatever you see, whatever you hear, don't think about it, don't speak about it, and don't see. Is it easy? What a master of the sense organs, hey? That you're in the world, you're dealing with people, but all Baba is saying, this is really what it means to be the control of the sense organs. I see, but I don't see. I hear, but I don't hear. In other words, I stop this game of seeing a bad behavior, beginning to analyze it, beginning to, you know, analyze deeply what they're saying and how they're saying and processing it. And really, I think over my Brahman years, I've made so much effort to put a full stop to that analytical mind that starts to analyze how people are, what they are, why they're behaving in this way. And so to be merciful to the self is just to let go of this type of thinking. And then secondly, what was mercy for others? Whatever you see or hear, don't pass it on. If you speak about waste, what did Baba say? If we speak about waste, it becomes like a seed that grows a whole tree. And then what was Baba really saying? That if I see waste, if I have waste about another, I can't keep it inside. So I speak to one and it becomes a rosary, basically a rosary of gossip. I would say nothing weakens us as a family more than this. You know, nothing breaks trust. If there's a lack of trust, it's because of this habit to see the weakness in the first place, and then hold it in here. I can't hold it. It comes out of my mouth. I speak to one, they speak to one, they speak to another. Then the rosary of gossip. What does that do to the vibration in our divine family? If each one of us becomes responsible to realize that it began with me, if I even see or hear and hold it, rather than what did Baba say? Don't think about it, don't speak about it, don't see it. This is the purity we need at this time. This is the purity that is really going to free me from, I would say, staying in the gravity of subtle body consciousness. I really believe, for me, some years ago, the last thing Baba said at the end of one of the seasons was about 2017. Baba said, children, you have to see virtue in each other. Baba didn't say it's a good thing to do, make effort. He said it's essential to see virtue in each other. And I honestly believe that I got to a point in my Brahman life when I really realized that unless I consciously practice seeing the value of others and holding it in my attitude, you get stuck. You can't really progress spiritually. When we keep lighting the fires in my mind, we keep lighting the fires of vice, or even the smoke of waste, as Baba calls it. What happens to my stage when we do that? And this is why really I think that for me at this time to really become the angel, and it's the image I love, there's two things I'm practicing myself. And since COVID began, the first thing is remembrance. It's the heart and soul of Brahman life. And many times I think the one who's eternally pure, the only soul who always retains truth, who sees reality eternally, is Baba. And what does he tell me every single day, time and time again? Remember me. And I have been thinking, I've been a Brahmin for so many years. I love Baba. I have faith in Baba. I do service. I follow all the principles. But how much do I really remember Baba? Is my account of remembrance increasing? If it's not, how can I really become strong? How can I really become powerful? And aligned with today's Murli, what I've been thinking is that the intellect is like a subtle thread, and it travels in an instant. It can travel to the person beside you and have a fire of thinking or the smoke of waste in a second. It can travel on the other side of the world. This intellect is beyond time and space, and wherever it connects, I am influenced. And when I'm influenced, I have a feeling inside. In a sense, my whole stage depends on what I remember. So whatever I connect, I plug into. Whatever my mind is plugged into influences me. I come under it like a shadow, and then I have a feeling inside. And in a way, this morning and in the recent Sakamolis, if the subtle thread of my intellect is always going to bodily beings, even if they are loving and they are sweet, if I'm sort of a little bit attracted to them, I like them, and I'm still pulled to that bodily being. Or it's the opposite, like Baba was saying today. I dislike them. I have jealousy for them. Either way, if the subtle thread of my intellect goes to bodily beings, I feel stuck. I can't really remember God. I can't really remember Baba. And therefore, I don't really have the fullness of spiritual experience from Baba, because subconsciously, my mind is being attracted to some and repulsed or disliking others. So I'm stuck in the gravity of human beings and human behaviors and human actions. And this is why, to me, I love this Muli, because Baba's really saying, children, free yourself from this. Free yourself. How? With good wishes and pure feelings. You know, I have a little saying for myself: if I'm not happy, if I'm not feeling that good, there's only one question to ask your heart, only one question. What have I been remembering? What have I plugged my thinking into? Is it into someone's behavior? Is it into what someone said? Is it into a memory? Is it a little bit of a worry about the past? I keep plugging in, I'm influenced, and then I don't feel so sweet or peaceful. What is Baba teaching us? Baba is teaching us to remember him. And I'm sort of thinking it's almost like you put yourself under the canopy of protection. When the subtle thread goes to Baba, you are influenced by the one who's ever pure, ever loving, ever sweet, ever merciful. And when I'm influenced by Baba, what is the vibration in my mind? It's that simple. You know, the vibration here is the highest vibration, a similar vibration to Baba. And that, my experience, it is that feeling that sustains you. That's the feeling that makes you feel so easy, so light, so full. There's that sweet feeling of spiritual fullness. And that feeling sustains you. It sustains the atmosphere around you. You hold this lovely vibration, and it sustains the Brahman family around you too, or anyone. Your face, your eyes, your vibration holds this sweet feeling that, in a sense, infects the atmosphere and uplifts the atmosphere. But if in my mind, I've got the fire of vices going, I've got the smoke of waste going, what happens to my stage? It affects me, it affects the atmosphere, and I don't feel close to others around me too. And I think this is why, you know, this time, I think the first step, to me, the angel is so simple. They're in love with one, they remember one. They've broken that bondage of the subtle thread of the intellect constantly going to human beings, their behavior, what they've said, what they've done, what they should be like, all my expectations. They break that thread, and the thread is connected to one. And secondly, in terms of my connections with others, I'm the bestower. And really, I think that my observation of all the seniors I've seen, that, you know, what is the sign of a soul who's really close to Baba? How can we tell? Many things. But one is they're always giving, they're always bestowing. Why? because they're full. Their subtle thread is with Baba. They feel full. That sweet feeling is inside. And so they've got this natural benevolence. It's a natural thing for everyone around them. And one of the things which always touches me so deeply when we used to listen to Baba, when he says, children, can you hear the cries of the devotees? And, you know, sometimes I think when you get up for Amrit Vela, can you sometimes, you know, we remember Baba, we are under God's light. But the suffering in our world is incredible. And I remember once Baba said that you people sometimes are so self-absorbed in me and my story and my life and my problems and my situation. But really, this is a life to give. And when you give, you become full. And that clears and cleans the karmic account that Baba was really talking about. And I remember once he was talking to the foreigners and he called us, he said to us, "Oh gods and goddesses, become the bestower and give." And Baba said like a mantra, you have to give, you have to give, you have to give. Why does Baba say this? Why does Baba say this? Because it's in giving we clear that addiction to being caught up in people and behaviors and attachments and dislikes. And, you know, I'm sure all of you feel, I just want to let all that go, move beyond. How do we do it? Giving. And it's a giving not just through words, but it's a giving through your attitude, a giving through your drishti, a giving through your face. It's just that it's like a decision. Baba, I'm going to remember you and just give. And that approach to life just fills you with so much happiness and so much positivity. And when I think of Baba, when he used to meet, he was an example of giving. You know, I once was there when Baba came for 16 hours, meeting the children one after the other, filling everyone's heart full. Amazing. I've seen the daddies do the same too. It's the recipe for the angel. Remember one and give to all. Become the bestower. Become master merciful, master compassionate. This is really what Baba was saying today. And sometimes I think, you know, how can I reach my highest stage? And, you know, how can I really do it quickly? I think a lot of us are seeing how time is moving so quickly. And I really feel it's that stage of giving, because the law says the more I give, the more I feel full. The more I give, the more I feel full. And when I feel full, I feel content. Baba's sanskara is to give. And the result is when you give, you receive blessings. All of us have heard how the daddies often said that when you become real instrument to remember one and give to all, what do you get from the hearts of others? You get blessings. What more do you need in life? You feel absolutely satisfied, and automatically that reduces your own desires as well. And I think really one of the great virtues of the bestower is to be generous-hearted. I really love it. And I think it's really worth asking myself, does everyone fit in my heart? Does everyone fit in my heart? Or is it that 98% fit, but those few just don't fit in my heart? That means I still have the sanskara of dislike, the sanskara of jealousy, the sanskara that Baba was saying, which can create the fire, and the smokes can start to come out again. And this is why at this time in the cycle, what is the recipe that works? To really be attentive to remember one. Where does the subtle thread of my intellect go? I've been watching, I'm amazed. I sit in Amrit Vela, I remember Baba, and before I know it, I'm thinking about something else. You know, it mightn't be a bad thing, but I traveled and I pulled somewhere and I come back and I come back. This is the deep attention that we have to just really create this account of remembrance, almost create a habit of remembrance. So I feel from Baba, and in all my interactions with all souls, what did Baba say? Give them the Dil Kush Toli. Give them a genuine feeling of happiness. You know, the joy of your relationship with Baba comes through your life, that they get that feeling from you. And we all know it. We know it when we met some of the daddies, that just that sweet feeling of being around us, feeling of purity, a feeling of egolessness, a feeling of love, a feeling of belonging. To really be a generous heart, I think, is such a powerful thing. And I'm going to finish up in a sec because we might have a little bit of time for questions. But one of the things, you know, I used to study all the seasons, Maulis at the end of the season. And around the turn of the millennium, around the year 2000, for 5, 6, 7 years, the main theme was this: children, good wishes, good wishes, good wishes. To keep my feelings clean no matter what. And just like Baba said this morning, he said, children, no matter what someone is like, whether they're a Brahman, whoever they are, have good feelings for them. And I remember in all those Maulis, that language came up time and time again, no matter, no matter. In Baba's world, there's no real excuse. If you want to reach that stage, we've got to clear this account, this habit to be disturbed, affected, influenced, upset by others, free myself from that. Baba said, no matter what someone is like, you must have good wishes and pure feelings. No matter what someone is like, even if they oppose you, even if they're against you, your duty is to have good wishes and pure feelings. No matter what someone is like, give them love and good wishes, not superficially, but from the heart. So I don't do it because I think I should, but it's genuine. It's from my heart. No matter what someone is like. And even once Baba said, even if they're 95% fluctuating and 5% stable, or 95% difficult and 5% okay, what should I see? That 5%. Baba sets us the highest standard. And yet, why? Because my experience is until I clean this in myself, we feel we're stuck in Brahman life. We love Baba, we do service, but we don't really feel I'm growing into the angel. Until the purity of my feelings about others are really cleaned, it's hard for the soul to really move forward in the way I would really, like to. So I'm going to wind up there, and it's really lovely. And if there's any questions or comments or something, happy to share.
Yes, Bhai, it's your sharing has cleared a lot of smoke, I guess. So, so it has triggered a lot of sincere questions. Actually, I'm only concerned. There's a lot of smoke in my mind now. But I would do justice to all these questions. So beautiful, lovely to read all of them. Very, very sincere questions, actually. So we're going to read some of them, and I believe that during your sharing, some of them already been answered. But what I will do, I'll read some of them, and you stop me, and if at all there is, if you want to share, because I can't keep on sharing all the questions. There's a lot. But let me just read from the latest. I know that many of you sent. Thank you so much. I'll read one by one, whichever that is possible for me to read. Okay, so this is one. Charlie Bhai, it sounds so easy when you're saying it. So you made it easy. And another one more. I understand how to deal with my problem already. Thank you very much. And this one, is it okay to talk or avoid people who spread wasteful words and pulls you down? But in your heart, you spread good wishes and pure feelings with them. So that's one more.
Can I,
And
can I
this
say
one,
something,
yes,
Kiriva?
Bhai,
Can I
please.
interrupt you?
Yes, please.
You know, I remember once Baba saying avoiding another person is a form of anger. You know, I know it's easy to say because, like I was saying, Baba talks about the highest standard. That's why we love Baba. But I really feel, if I talk to many Brahmins, all of you do, I'd say the biggest obstacle, the main obstacle in our yoga and our spiritual progress is we get stuck in a conflict or stuck in a dislike or stuck in a jealousy, you know, and even with all my gyan, I'm convinced it's the other person is the problem. But actually the problem is that I've allowed myself to come under the influence of the other person. My subtle thread has been dwelling on them, and I've put myself under the influence of their behavior. And this is where at first I need a lot of honesty to say, actually, it's me. Now, I'm not saying their behavior is good, and some behavior is really not good. I really appreciate, especially at this time in the cycle, there's a lot of really bad human behavior. But Baba is saying we are the bestowers. And if I'm influenced by them, I'm no better than them. If I behave like them, if I react like them, how can I say I'm really an angel? It just needs incredible honesty first, because as long as I subtly keep thinking it's them, I don't make effort, because I really think they're the problem. But when I realize it's me, that I'm stuck in my story of getting upset and confused, I can begin to free myself from their influence. Really, this is deep effort in Brahman life. This is detachment. And in a way, at the end of the cycle, I have all relationships with one, and I become detached from all human souls. This is the formula that really works in the confluence age. Sorry, Kiraba, I interrupted your questions.
Yeah, that's necessary because the questions are a lot actually. So it's good to that you interrupt in between. And there's one more person, I don't know whether I read it earlier, but it's just probably reflect on many others' situation that they have tried, they have attempted, and they have failed. So there is a fear that if they do try again, they may not be successful, or there will be difficulties along their effort. So that was one of them. And then I will, maybe you can sum it up later on. Another one was saying that at what time do we give good wishes and pure feeling? Is there any particular time for that? And so that's one of it. And
there is a particular time. There is a particular time, 24/7. That's the time, the particular time to have to have good wishes. And I really mean it. I really do mean it. It's, why do we love Baba? Baba has such elevated feelings for us. Why did we love the daddies? It's the same. When we become similar, we can do it. And, a lot do try. We have a difficult relationship. So with a pure heart, we say, Baba, I'm going to really try to change this with my good wishes, with my attitude, with my yoga power. And we try and nothing changes, because subtly, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, well, you are a really difficult soul. You're a big problem, but I'll have good wishes for you. You are a real case, but I'll have good wishes for you. Like, in a way, I still have that negative vision. I still have that negative vision for the soul. And it's only really when I learn the value. To me, what I learned, and I often mention from Daddy Prakashmani, why was she such an influential person? Why did her stage uplift so many? Because she held the value of everyone in her attitude. This is really what a Brahmin teacher is. It's not so much speaking, it's that each one you learn their value. Every single soul has weakness, every single soul has strength. And you make a decision. I can look at the weakness and then all the smoke will come and all the fires will burn. Or I make a jnani decision for my life to focus on the weakness and practice. And to me, it's the sign of an egoless soul when I really can see virtue in everyone. It's my ego that keeps focusing on people's shortcomings and weaknesses. And this is the depth of really shifting to a really pure soul when the cleanliness of my attitude is so clean for everyone. And Baba kept saying today, didn't he? Everyone, at every moment. Baba sets this incredibly high standard.
Okay, Charlie Bhai, I think our time is time constraint. So probably some of these questions, maybe you would have shared, whilst you were sharing, they would have got the answer. I hope that way. But otherwise, I'm really thankful to all the brothers and sisters for sharing your questions. It's really, really, you know, we really appreciate it, but so sorry we can't deal with all of them, but very good of you to share. Okay, Charlie Bhai,